didn't talk to this panel about a gas line and about gas development right now. This past week, Escapita came out. They, of course, are a new development company for Alaska for the most part. They're in Cook Inlet right now. And they've said that they found this ginormous natural gas find, which I was like, really? Cool. Does that make my Instar bill go down? Kind of doubt it. But this sort of changes the balance of like the slope gas. It's stranded. Well, this is right here, but it's kind of stranded too.
Well, it was exaggerated. The Escapita's announcement was exaggerated. That well's halfway down so far. They are looking for oil. They found more gas than what all their geology indicated. That's it. It's gas in place. It's not gas recoverable. Okay, that's A. But as for your Instar bill going down, yeah, it did go down because of Buccaneer. Buccaneer is already selling gas it's producing out of Kenai to Instar, and it drove the price down.
I got to disagree.
Yeah,
That gas is certainly accessible. What happened is they're the ones that brought the jack-up rig that Senator Thomas Wagner put a $25 million tax credit. The first person gets one up here. They ran into some Jones Act problems. They got it up here. Their data was so good.
$10 million fine?
Yeah.
$15 million fine. That'll come out of our $25 million, I'm told.
Yeah.
So they'll end up with 10. But the amazing part is that with the data and everything they had, the new technology and everything, they put that jack-up rig right on top and they hit and they say 3.5. Now, it's probably not 3.5, but it's strongly possibly 2 to 2.1, and they still have to go through some more layers, Steve, because there could be more gas down there. It's a game changer in Cook Inlet. It's a game changer about, should we bring in a bullet line down the Parks Highway and bring gas from the North Slope, and Alaska pays $10 billion out of the permit fund for it? Should we let private industry go look for more gas in Cook Inlet? Escapita this morning at the Mayor Dan Sullivan's Energy Task Force announced, you may not believe this, they're going to bring a second jack-up rig, and Buccaneer's bringing one.
Why the hell wouldn't they? We pay for the first one, and we'll pay for the second one.
But the good part is
they get a third, we'll pay for that
but they
too.
hit so much gas that can save us and help us here, and then we have to reconsider, do we want to ship off the North Slope? Do we want to wait? Do we want a bullet line? Do we want to export Valdez? Do we want to take Escapita's problem? They don't have marketable gas. They found so much, there's no pipeline. What are they going to do with it? Why don't we build a pipeline up to Glen Ellen, down into Valdez, get that whole project going that way for LNG export? We'll export out of Cook Inlet what's left over, because we can't possibly use it over. The gas they found is 46 years worth of gas for Cook Inlet, just in that one find. We're in good shape.
It's an exciting announcement.
It's very exciting.
And the other really exciting announcement is the fact that Governor Parnell has changed the whole concept of our gas export to looking at Asia.
Right.
I wondered when he got the Bill Walker chip in place.
I mean,
I really did. I was like, wow, this is so Bill Walker of him. And then I was like, do I still like it? Because it's coming from him?
Well, it's the future. It's where to go. And I back up what Steve was saying. It's so exciting that we have this gas because it's such a clean fuel in today's world.
Right.
When you're talking about coal, when you're talking about the scary nuclear stuff and so
fracking.
on, this is really big time, and it can come from Alaska.
This is why I think Sean Parnell flipped. Okay, everybody, put on your tinfoil hats. This is not having to do with the rapture, I promise. I think that he found out that the Keystone XL pipeline was not going to happen. The tar sands was not going to happen. The only reason they ever wanted that gas line, that Trans-Canada line, to go to Alberta was to help get those tar sands out of the ground.
Absolutely right.
As soon as he found out, because Barack Obama just said, I'm not going to decide until 2013, because that'll be when I'm president again, or whatever. And then, so they say they're not going to do it. Trans-Canada said, well, any sort of delay of this means that the project's dead. We're not going to be able to do it. Investors are leaving. I think that Sean Parnell knew that that Trans-Canada was going to fail. The only thing that was keeping it there was that Tarzan line. And it's gone now, so now he's like, I'm going to be Bill Walker when I grow up.
Well, I mean...
Now, is that a giant conspiracy, or do you think that's feasible?
The shipping to Asia? I think it's absolutely feasible.
Or
I mean, this man.
Why he's done a flip flop? Why he Mitt Romneyed on us?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what led to it, but I know that this man has given years of his life to get us started with shipping our North Slope gas through Valdez to Asia. That's where the future is. That's where we can be a source of clean energy, Steve, and it can transform our future in terms of our economy in this state. I think it's an exciting moment if they'll follow through.
Yeah.
There's always a kind of an if there, Steve.
Rarely am I the coolest head in the room. But I do think you guys got
I'll vouch to that.
you got your tinfoil hats on this one. I don't, well, yeah, I really don't think the purpose of the gas line into Alberta was to cook out more tar sands. I really don't. And I still have my doubts about the large diameter pipeline for export with the LNG plant, just in terms of cost, whether it actually pencils out with world gas prices and other gas supplies. You know, crazier things have happened. And this guy here, I echo what Malcolm says, he's the stalwart warrior. Were you the guy that invented the term bullet line?
I think we used that terminology early on, but I think others have thought about that. There's been discussions previous to that. It's a good name, but it doesn't catch everything.
It's the wrong idea.
The bullet line down the Parks Highway doesn't catch except people in Tanana, Cantwell, Healy.
Yeah.
You go down to Glen Richardson,
all
the
the
Taps
people-
corridor,
all the
they all
people that are-
live on the other corridor.
Yeah, all
So
the people, we've left everybody behind that's watching this show, but that's
Yeah.
the real conspiracy theory thing, is if we do have the bullet line, where's it gonna go? Is it gonna go on the Parks Highway? Or is it gonna go, it might bypass Fairbanks entirely.
Or do you
now.
need it anymore since we just found all this
We
gas
don't
at
need the
Cook
bullet.
Inlet?
Yeah.
We don't
The bullet
need it.
line
Yeah.
is dead, guys.
I
The
agree.
bullet line is dead.
Again.
Okay, so how much do you think that this discovery is inflated or deflated as it is? And this has to be a really quick answer because we're almost up against the break. But how much does this affect and will be driven to get that unstranded because of Donlin Creek and Pebble needing the energy?
They do.
They do
They
need
do
the
need
energy, and that's why, Ralph Samuels was like, we need a bullet line to come through that side where the mines were to Anchorage. It was like, what? Are you on crack? You're just getting them for the mines. I mean, but I'm like looking at this. I think that's what's going to unlock it. I think that's what's going to be the driver. It's not going to be Anchorage and lowering our prices. I think it's going to be like, how are we going to actually get energy to these mines?
Well, the Angus side of it is we're going to try to push to help Escopeta export their gas by going with the line up through Glen Allen, which a big line could hook into that coming from the North Slope later, get down to Valdez, get Valdez going. What we also need to do, I believe, is what's really valuable, maybe they weren't going after the tar sands, but it's the gas liquids that are in there, the ethane and the propane. They want to get all
That's
that to
right.
Canada
That was the
instead
other
of leaving
piece.
that here for our own industry,
gotta
value-added
run-
jobs.
We got to run to a break. We're coming back with questions from our
You got so excited you leave.
All right, the next two segments of the show are my absolute favorite. We have all kinds of questions from the audience who have come down here on a Thursday night at the Taproot. We're doing Occupy Taproot right now. Do you like it? That's right. Occupy wherever you're at. Some people, occupy the sofa and watch their TV, like you. Thanks. We appreciate it. Questions from the audience. One for you, Malcolm. Are you ready?
Yes.
Malcolm, what would it take to convince you that Pebble cannot be responsibly and safely developed?
If they cannot protect the fishing stream, the connections to the whole fishing streams and all that leads down into Bristol Bay, it's a dead deal.
They've already said they can't.
They said they can?
They said they cannot, but they'll replace them. No net loss
You
is
can't
what I was
replace
told.
God.
Well, I haven't seen that. I haven't
Hey, you know
heard
what,
that.
Malcolm?
What?
God don't make junk.
What?
God don't make junk.
Can anyone help me with that?
Keep your hands off of
Keep
my
your
junk.
hands off my junk. That's all.
I said,
Do you want me to move over there?
no, I'm just
Fun with Malcolm
No,
Day.
the point is like, I brought a friend up here this summer and we were out there and she just said, I found heaven. Heaven is Alaska. You don't mind heaven. Like that place in particular, showing her that. That's why I'm like, God don't make junk. Like you can't make it better. Like Chewitna, the Pac Rim, we'll just put in a new river. It'll be as good as God did it. No, you won't. You won't do it as good.
I have this picture of these.
I'm working on you, mister. Me
Go
and you.
for it.
I have
All
a
right.
picture of these conduits.
You're going to be wearing no
up on
Pebble
stilts.
pasties by the end of the show. You think I'm kidding? I've put them on people. How do you think the Koch brothers will feel if Alaska produces and refines its own fuel? Well, as we know, the Koch brothers have Flint Hills refinery. Well, let me think. How would the Koch brothers feel? Not really something I think about
Do
much.
they?
I don't give a rat's ass. I'd like to feel better when I fill up my car with cheaper gas.
I think that's one of the strongest arguments for Alaska socialism there is our own refining, actually.
Which we should have done 35 years ago.
Yeah, you're asking me? I think the Koch brothers, if that's how to pronounce it, are one of the real forces that are scary in this country. I think they're funding politics that it goes beyond patriotism. There's no patriotism left. It's all partisanship. It's win the White House at any cost, regardless of what it does to our country and our people. And I don't like it.
Yes.
Anything else?
No, I think that's pretty good. Although if I were them, I'd be like, we got that Kenyan right where we want him.
The one in the White House?
Yeah, well, drill baby drill. He's keeping all Sarah's promises. For the panel, where do you do your banking? You don't feel like you have to answer this question, but I will say this. I bank at a credit union. I don't believe in banking at a for-profit banking institute that takes bailouts from the government and then gives themselves bonuses and rips off people. I won't do it.
Credit union.
Your credit union?
Denali Federal Credit Union, about 30, 35 years.
Feeling any peer pressure yet, Mal?
Well, I bank at Key Bank and Denali Credit Union.
Right on. Nobody said Northram, which is good. Although I had to miss my Mark Langland is kind of a big jerk speech, but okay, that's fine. We can do it another week. Scott, you did the All-Alaska Gas Pipeline years ago and got strong voter approval. What happened?
You're here. Good question.
Thank you.
In a minute, what happened?
Yeah,
No,
right.
I just lucked out and hit a spot where a wonderful spiritual force came through me and said, go forth and do this. And I saw that I thought the better project I felt was to go to Valdez, the old Wally Hickel project, export to Asia, spur line into South Central, get the propane to the people in rural, do some petrochemicals, which is ethane and things like that, get jobs. I didn't believe in going down the Canadian highway. I never have. I'll never support going down the Canadian highway. It just seemed like the better project. So you go through the initiative process. You got to get 100 signatures. You take it to Franomer. Finally, they give us back the booklets with 500. I put the team out all over Alaska. It cost us about $75,000. And the best story I can tell is in the parking lots around Anchorage, where I was. People were jumping over me, grabbing the clipboard to sign the thing. They're almost to sign it.
You know why?
I got record signature numbers, record vote on the thing, on the ballot is 62%.
Well,
and if we'd just done that project, if the legislators and the governors had just followed that project, we'd be fine right now. We'd be having a heck of a good time in
Should have
Alaska.
listened to him. We've got to run to a break.
These people
We're
listen.
coming back with more questions in just a second.
We're loosening up now.
Oh my goodness, so many questions. Were you aware that the Occupy Anchorage occupiers have been occupying Town Square Park 24 hours a day for over 20 days now? Yes, I was. I was one of the first speakers. I support Occupy Anchorage. I support Occupy the Tundra. I support Occupy Homer. Big shout out to you guys. I mean, it's happening all over the country, all over our state. I'm in total support. It gives me hope for change.
Absolutely.
That I still have a thing about hope and change. I just know that it's probably going to be delivered in a different vehicle. Which
and for the usual citizen, the best important part is to occupy your own home toilet. That's very important.
I'm impressed by the creativity of it. This thing seems to have been caught up by a bunch of artists and so forth, and somehow when people put their creative energies into trying to get something done, it keeps the effort alive more. I think a lot of these, well-intentioned political movements kind of run out of steam because of a certain lack of creative energy, and this has a lot of creative energy, even though it seems completely hopeless.
Right.
People are catching on to it. It's not going away. And there's something very magical about continuous occupation. I've just been serving as a crew on a vessel, and somebody has to be the deck officer at all times. It's a simple thing, but it's the same thing in a way. Somebody always has to be there. That's what Occupy is. You're the deck officer.
Great. It's great that they're down there, and so feel free to take them by some, warm bread or soup or hand warmers or sleeping bags or gloves or hats or anything else. If you can't be there with them, support them. It's really important.
You bet, I agree.
So, does Sarah live in Alaska? Sarah who?
Yeah, good question. I don't know who they're talking about.
Who is it?
Sarah.
Her husband lives here. I know he's running the Iron Dog. He must be here. You
that's
You
Sarah.
must have to, yeah.
Oh, that's Sarah. Yeah, it was confusing. Do the Republicans have a candidate? Yeah.
Yeah, seven of them.
They've got 999 of them. Holy man, what is the deal with them this year?
Delicious.
Every time they have a debate, Obama wins. And he's not even there yet. I'm serious. Rick Perry's like, well, there's 3 things I'm going to eliminate. And I can't remember them. It's like if your dad was like, you know what, I've given you 3 things to do. I don't know what they are. Okay, do I still have to do them? Are we going to do charades? Sounds like, it was just crazy. And then Ron Paul's over there like, he's like that weird uncle that the dads will talk to, but the moms are like, I don't know, he's weird, stay away from him, kids. And then Rick Perry, and Michelle Bachmann. I have so many babies. Like, so what? It's not a contest.
Think of the ad material the Obama team's having shooting all those videos. There are going to be some fun ads coming up about next October.
It's pretty pathetic. You got to admit, Steve. I haven't seen a pageant of this much crazy in my whole life.
I can't bring myself to watch it.
You can't watch.
Malcolm and I were talking earlier, and we think the leading rising person is Newt Gingrich.
Wait a minute.
Gingrich.
We didn't talk about that.
Yeah, I want to bring you into it.
Are you? You know what, Newt Gingrich?
He's the rising star.
He is a rising star. A man who left his wife on her deathbed
He's
with
a
breast
rising
cancer.
star.
Because wait, he explained it. It was because he's so patriotic he screwed around on both his wives. Wow. God bless America.
Where's Pat Buchanan
That's how
when
that
you really
works.
need him?
I know, Pat Buchanan. He's somewhere, I don't know, drawing a swastika. That man's crazy. Thank you guys so much. I had so much fun talking to you. I'm hardly out of funny, wonderful topics with you, but we're out of show. So we'll be back next week with more Up North.
Good to see you, Steve.
David, it's really good to see you.
How about this Gingrich business?
I thought we did. I goofed in. Sounded good. I thought we sat over there and said it looked like Gingrich was rising.